you worship God when your circumstances change? Or do you let fear control you? And so let me encourage you with this as well. When fear starts to creep in and you feel like everything's falling apart, what I'm telling you today is you can ask the Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, give me strength to believe today, because I'm struggling to see the promise. I'm struggling to hear your voice right now in this moment, to know that things can be better. Don't let your circumstances boss you around. When we serve a supernatural God who can do supernatural things in your life, He can take down the giant, He can remove the mountains in your way, He can change your circumstances. We walk by faith, not by the things that we see. We walk by faith, not by our circumstances being good, by the promises of God over our life.
Have you ever noticed how worry comes at a bad time? It comes at a time of crisis, just when you need a clear mind and steady nerves to make a great decision. Worry is trust in the unpleasant. Worry is assurance that disaster is coming. Worry is believing in your personal defeat and despair. Worry is a polluted stream that flows through your brain, that drowns hope and optimism, that kills faith. Worry is interest paid on trouble that never happens. Worry is faith in fear. Worry paralyzes the man so that it can't produce a better idea to solve a new problem. It robs your body of rest at night. It sends you to work shattered, shaky, second rate. Fear not the present. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Joshua 1:9. Be not afraid, for thy God is with you wherever you go. David says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
You are afraid of a future that has not even manifested yet. So you have imagined. It's interesting. The disciples could have said, it's an angel. The disciples could have said, it's God. The disciples could have said anything positive. But isn't it interesting? The moment we become fearful, we use our imagination to imagine the worst. It's a ghost. This ghost is here to hurt us and harm us. I need to pause for a moment. Your fear is causing you to imagine situations and scenarios that are not real. But in our minds, we create these ideas of what's going to happen to us, and we treat it like reality, so much so that we don't even live in the present because we're too afraid of a future based upon something we imagine that is not real. Do you think God would allow you to be at this moment in the history of the earth if He did not have plans to bless you? Do you think that by facing your fears, God is going to take something from you? Do you think that if you are here, that God does not have the best for you? He does. But when we become afraid, we imagine the worst.
The Bible refers to fear as a spirit. It is something that can consume our emotions, paralyze us, and keep us from maximizing our potential. When we are tempted to be afraid by people or problems or circumstances, that's actually God's call spiritually to appeal to Him for His divine intervention to calm the fear and to give us peace in the midst of a problem. That's when you know God is real, when your humanity is afraid and He overrides it with His presence. Appeal to His presence when fear is dominating, so that the emotion of fear doesn't become a spirit of fear that is controlling you rather than you controlling it. Our fear should always be under God's control.
So I see somebody like that Old Testament king going back to the enemy and saying, the deal's off. I changed my mind. I remember what King David said to a giant, the Philistine, that stood 9 feet tall. And all of the other Israelites said he's too big to fight, but David said he's too big to miss. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Send him a message. Tell him, I won't. Somebody shout, I won't. Back down.
Worry is a rat. It cannot live in the secret place of the Most High. It cannot breathe in the atmosphere of faith. It cannot breathe where there is abiding confidence in the God that controls everything. If your life's course has been altered by crisis, if you are living with stress and worry, climb into the presence of the living God. Feel His peace. Feel His reassuring touch. Feel the love of God. Worry will disappear and victory will be yours.